useless. Now, this time we're going to be stepping it up after I give a quick refresher on everything we learned. Whoops. Um, Basically, you click and all these blank spaces, that means there are no bombs around them. Bombs make you lose the game if you click on them. And if there's a 1, like right here, that means that there is one bomb around that, which means one of these 3 spots that are still open has a bomb and the other 2 are blank. If there's a 2, like right here, all the surrounding spaces, which are these 5, that means 2 of these 5 spaces have bombs and the other 3 are clear. Alright, and that can go all the way up to 8, and that means that if there's an 8, that means every single space around it is a bomb. Alright, so let's just get into it. Oh yes, one more thing. If there's like a 1 on a corner, and this is the only available spot, if there's one available spot, you know that this one is definitely a bomb, so you can just right click and flag it. Same with right here, and right here, and right here. Alright. And since this 1 is already taken up by this space right here, we know this one isn't. And this 1 already has a bomb next to it, which means that all these spaces are clear. And same right here. And now we have a 2, and there's 1 space, 2 spaces, which means the second space has to be a bomb. There's 1 right there, which means that space is clean. And then the 1 tells us that since this spot already has a bomb in it, these 2 spots are clear. Now there's a 2 right here, and there's only 2 spots available, which means that they're both bombs. All right. Now here's where it gets a little bit tricky, because this is where you have to do a little bit of guesswork, because you don't really know which one of these spaces are bombs and which ones aren't. So I'm just gonna click right there. The 1 doesn't tell me much. 2, 1, 1. Yeah, this is all really tricky. This one is kind of just guess and hope you get it right. And there we go. I think we're about ready to solve it, because the 1 right there in the corner means that this one is definitely a bomb. This 2 shows that these 2 bombs are taken, and this 3rd spot is free. The 2 shows those 2 spots are taken, and this one's free. The 2, there's only 2 spots available, so I can right click that one and flag it. There's 1s on either side, which means that these 2 spots are also clean. A 2 right there, there's only 2 spots available, therefore those 2 are bombs. And a 2 right here, which means 1, 2, both of those are bombs. Same with this one, and the 1 right there, which means we can clean up right around the corner. Alright guys, there's your quick refresher. And now on to the actual lesson. Alright, now basically what I've done is I've switched the map from beginner to intermediate. And the intermediate board has a 16 by 16 square with 40 bombs, while the beginner one is a 9 by 9 with only 10 bombs. Basically, intermediate is so much harder because there's a larger area, which means there's more space to mess it up, as well as the fact that there's a higher concentration of bombs, which means also more chances to accidentally guess one wrong or something. And you'll see a lot of these intermediate games, they really all come down to whether you guess something right or not, because there's going to be like an empty gap. Like sometimes they'll be like right there, and there's no spaces that you know, so you have to guess, and oftentimes you'll get it wrong. So a lot of this is luck, but most of this you can figure out on your own, and generally with intermediates you can figure it out just about, and you only have to rely on luck for maybe 1 or 2 squares. Anyways, if you aren't prepared to watch my intermediate, or you are still confused about how to figure out which one's a bomb and what all the numbers mean, and how the placement of the numbers can tell you exactly where all the bombs are, then make sure you really watch my refresher closely, or you go to my previous video where I explain it more in depth. Alright? But if you guys are ready to like delve into this intermediate, continue watching, please. Alright? Let's get right in. So basically, what the first thing you want to do with any intermediate game is just click anywhere. Alright? And then you get a nice little island like this, or peninsula, whatever you want to call it. And from there, you can just start filling in places. So I'm just going to fill in all the ones that have, or all the ones like next to a 1 in a corner. Alright? You guys should be able to understand exactly what I'm doing by now, because this is actually the really most simple way to figure out what is what. Alright, so I filled all those in. And now instead of like searching for more areas, like clicking around trying to find more white spots, what you want to do is you want to just keep on keeping on this one area, okay? Like keep on filling in spots, because if you click around, you're probably going to end up finding bombs. Since there's 30 bombs around here, there's a really good chance that you're going to hit a bomb instead of a white area. And also, judging from the spaces left, there's not going to be very many white areas. Okay? Let's just continue filling in. Alright? And I know that I'm just going to fill in like a bomb also if I see one, because there's 2 right there. And only 2 spaces available. Okay? Okay, and I believe I've gotten just about as far as I can get. Let me just fill in these. Actually, I'm not sure about that one. Actually, yes, I am. I am very sure about that one. Okay, so it appears that now I've gotten as far as I can go, and it's time to fill in more bombs as I see them. I see a 3 in 3 spaces. That means a bomb. I see a 2 right there, which means a bomb right there. Another 2. Basically, you just need to like look around. Whatever catches your eye is like a corner or a place you could definitely picture a bomb being. You have to look for it and see if it's in the right spot. Alright, there's a 4 right there. 4s are a little bit more tricky, but you can see there's only 4 spaces, which makes that one pretty simple. And it looks like I've done as much as I can do right here right now, so I'm just gonna start filling in a couple more spaces, and basically that's all you have to do for the entire intermediate. Okay? Okay, and I think I've gotten this pretty far as I can go with just that. So now what I'm going to try and do is just fill in the rest of this. Alright? This is honestly very, very simple. All you have to do is not make a stupid decision and rush it. Alright, so I've filled in most of this board, but there's still 18 bombs all packed into this small space. You can judge by all the higher numbers in this area that there's going to be some bombs around. Obviously. I can tell that there's going to be 1 bomb right there. Ooh, a 4. Tricky, tricky, tricky. But the 2 also tells me there's going to be a gap right there with 1 right there, 1 right there. Once again, if you're not quite sure how I'm getting all these, make sure you go back to a previous video or test it out yourself. Figure out what I'm doing before you go ahead and watch this, so you aren't confused and just think I'm guessing. Okay. Fantastic. So now I've figured out most of this. I can just keep on going down the line, and I'll pretty much be able to get all of it. And that shouldn't be too much trouble. Okay. And there's that. Okay. And now that I've figured out all of it, but about a 16 by 3 area, here comes the tricky part. I don't know where anything else is on this board. Well, actually, except for this. I know there's a 2 there, and there's 2 spaces, which means I can go like that. And also on this side. There's 1 there and 1 there. Oh, okay. I almost was gonna have to start guessing, but it turns out all I need to do is look a little bit harder, and you'll find it. Basically, that's like with all Minesweeper. You just need to look hard enough, and eventually you'll find it. Just about, except on certain occasions, but those don't pop up that often until you get to like maybe expert. All right, and so now we've gotten to the part where we're almost done. We just have to find 9 more bombs. And I know there's a 2 right there, and there's definitely going to be 1 right there and 1 right there. And then this looks like it's surrounded. Alright, so 7 bombs left. 1 right there. In the 3s, tell me there's going to be 1 right there. There's a 2 right there, 2 spaces available. And I think we're going to be able to beat this one, guys. Okay. So there's only 4 bombs remaining, and there is 10 spaces, alright? So pretty much all I have to do is not mess up now. There's 1 right there. And at this point, you want to be absolutely certain that where you're putting or where you're clicking for a number is actually a number or not, because you've just done all this work for nothing if you mess it up. And trust me, that's a bad feeling. Alright, there's a 2 right there, but the bomb's already taken, which means all the ones surrounding it are good. There's a 1 right there, but there's also that 1 taken. If I can go like that. 2 right there, 2 spaces available. 2 right there, but both of them are taken. Okay, and now I can figure this out, because if this 3 wasn't there, I would have no idea. But since the 3 is there and there's only 3 spaces available, bam, and look, there's 0 bombs left, which means this last space is clear. And congratulations, you've now beaten your first intermediate game. Alright. Now, all the steps were very simple. First step is to just click somewhere and hope you get an island or like a group with all the white squares. And then your second step is just continue building on it and around it until more of those groups of white squares appear. And basically just keep on repeating all the way to the end. And that it's just as simple as that. You just have to be really careful and look closely. Okay?